Hi everyone, welcome to Board of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is another Clan War replay. Two replays in fact, featuring PYRO. This time it's against Aussie clan mates, M8S. And Aussie mates, no bull. They're fighting on Ruinberg. And just like some of the other replays you've seen, and like Skims used to do in Nebraska, as well as I believe there's quite a few players in PYRO who were in Nebraska. For a bit of a giggle, towards the end of the campaign, he's run with all German tanks, all tanks of the same nationality, which Skims has been kind enough to send me a few replays from those different points from his point of view, featuring replays where it's a Clan Wars battle featuring tanks all from the same country. So this one, of course, is Germany, and of course the next replay, which will be against VAE, is also all German tanks. Looking at, similar to another replay that I just did featuring PYRO, I think it was against Curry Clan. All Germans, this time they've gone for 3 Mouses, 5 E100s, 3 E50Ms, a Leopard, a Grill, and 2 Jag Panzer E100s. Of course, the Jag Panzer E100 is being driven by Skims today, and it's got that big whopping gun. Not only has it got a big gun, it can block off a little bit of damage as well, which is pretty handy as well, especially when you get a little bit forward. Now you can see that a little bit of a slow start in this replay, and it's not going to be another camping replay. It's not going to go the full 15 minutes. But looking at the mini-map, you can see that PYRO are positioning their heavy tanks where heavy tanks traditionally go. Already a lot of enemy tanks have been lit up in this southwestern corner, which is the normal place to do a camp. You can see Skim zooming right out there. Just try and see how much distance he's got between his tank and the enemy tanks. Looking for a cheeky shot with his big German gun from where he is. Doesn't quite find one. Have a listen to that big German gun. Big German gun didn't find its target on that occasion, but you know that when those shells hit from the Jag Panzer E100, whatever it hits, it stays hit, that's for sure. Now looking at the mini-map, see they've given Hilly a crack this time. Always good to see. The commander's getting a run. Yeah, and that's a demonstration of just how good at blocking armour the Jag Panzer E100 is. That's, of course, Skim's taking a shot at the enemy Jag Panzer E100 and just bouncing off the top of the superstructure. Now, pretty obvious, even early on, pretty obvious that Mates is just doing a massive camp here. They've bought all heavy tanks, 4 E100s, a couple of IS-7s, a Mouse, 4 Jag Panzer E100s, an E3 and 2 E4s. They're all very, very heavy tanks indeed. So it's going to be a little bit of a battle of attrition to try and break this camp, and let's see how PYRO do it. That Jag Panzer E100, same one that Skims bounced earlier, already took 2 pretty big hits to take him down to just over half health. He's probably tempted to take that shot, but it doesn't look like it's gonna. Doesn't look like it's really going to do any damage. So Skims moving a little bit forward. He's keeping his mediums at bay. They could probably quite comfortably snipe from back there at K6, K7. And the Grill, obviously the Grill has to be a little bit careful. The Grill doesn't have the same armour as the Jag Panzer E100, so he needs to make sure that the Grill needs to make sure that he doesn't get lit, because he'll no doubt cop a lot of shots into that weak turret. 0-0 still the score with 10.5 minutes to go on the countdown timer. Skims bounces a couple of shots and he searches for a shot on one of those tanks, and there you go, 1,007 hit points of damage into the enemy Jag Panzer E100, and now those mediums will be looking for the kill shot on that. No use wasting a big shell which can do 1,000 hit points from one of the TDs. That's what those mediums are there for, to clean up any damage. Looks like a lot of the mates tanks are getting hit as Skims pulls back to take a little bit more of a conservative approach. 0-0 still the score. And you can see Skims has picked himself up 1,007 hit points of damage. Bit of a waiting game. You can see that Safi's taken a little bit of damage in his V50M, and so he's swapped out with his team efficiency teammate Skell to keep himself alive. And Skell's taken a little bit of the more forward position in his weapon. Well, that shot doesn't hit, but the grill picks up the kill, and at the same time, on the other side of this skirmish, an E100 gets rid of a big Russian IS-7, making the score 2-zip, and now 3-zip as Skell gets rid of that Jagdpanzer E100 that Skims put a little bit of damage into. Not a little bit, he put 1,000 damage into him just a few minutes ago. And now the call's obviously been made. Let's put a little bit of pressure on these blokes. They've got Skims, who's still on full health, sitting in the cap circle with an E50M sitting directly behind him. So the E50M be very hard for these mates guys to put any damage into the German medium tank. And they're trying to get these mates tanks to move out of cover and look for that shot on the Pyro lads, who are capping at a little bit of an alarming rate there. There's only 15 seconds to go. The mouse gets taken out by the other Jagdpanzer E100, Heat Seeker, and now they've said, rightio, let's go boys, we're up 4-zip, let's push into these bad guys and take them out of the game and steal the glory. Now, it is a bit of a big, slow, lumbering beast, the Jagdpanzer E100. And that's another big shot into another Jag E100. Blocks a shot from behind, which should probably be from Safi. I'm not really sure. Or Party. Safi's right behind him. But 5-zip is the score. And again, Skims only gets tracked by the Jagdpanzer E100. He's already used his repair kit to fix his engine. But he's obviously got a half-decent repair crew, so he can afford just to wait until his tracks get repaired before putting another shot into the E3. 6-0 is the score, and those medium tanks are all over the cap circle just to make sure, just to maximise their fame points, which is a valid tactic, but also to put pressure on these mates guys. Try to make a mistake and try and get these mates guys to push forward and expose their armour. Easy shot for Skims into the E4. Obviously the E4 is focused on that E100 and the mouse, and he picks himself up another 1,000 hit points of damage, bringing his total up to nearly 4,500. And this is the part of the game when only 3 tanks are left. Everyone just looks for the last opportunities to pick themselves up a little bit of damage. 14-1, and that E4 will be looking very, very nervous indeed as Skims cleans him up, picks up the last kill of the game, which is always a nice feeling, getting the last kill of any battle. As we have a very quick look at the post-game battle results, there is still one more game after this one. This was Germany versus mates. This is the one that Skims sent me, sorry. The Jagdpanzer E100, and looking at the overall score, some pretty good scores there. Nearly 5,000 hit points of damage from Skims in the end. Of course, having that big derpy gun on the German tank destroyer always helps. Party had a good game too, getting some spotting damage as well as 3,500 hit points of damage for himself, and plenty of high scores in there. Good sprinter damage as usual from all the Pyro guys, and you can see that the game went for 9 minutes. And it wasn't a bad game at all from the Pyro lads bringing all German tanks, as they will be again in this second replay. All German assault. This time against their old nemesis, VAE. You can see Skims zoom right out here. One of the things he likes to do, and this time Skims is driving a mouse, and without giving too much away, I can tell you that he's going to do a lot better than he did in the last game that we saw him in a mouse on this map. I think it was against Curry where they capped out. Now, in this replay, whatever you do, don't blink, because it can be all over in a matter of minutes if you're not careful. On Ruinberg, again, they're doing the old all German assault. 6 E100s, 6 mouses, an E50 and 2 grills. Of course, the mouse might have a massive amount of armour, but it doesn't have the best penetration for a tier 10 gun. Puts a couple of shells into the IS-7, but doesn't. Not quite lucky enough to put any damage in at this stage. Finally lands a shot into the lower plate of the IS-7, and he has taken a few shots from out wide. As you look at the mini-map, looks like VAE have put a lot of tanks out into the field, and all these mouses are basically taking on the entire VAE team here. So I must admit, when I first saw this, I thought, gee, what are they going to do here? Because they're, looks like, even though they're up 1 zip, they are in a little bit of trouble. It looks like the entire VAE side is out wide here. Nothing has at all been spotted in the centre. And I know in the past when I've played VAE in Clan Wars, they often do have a very big presence in this eastern part of Ruinberg. Now 1 zip is the score, and you can see a heap of E5s have just gone back. Looks like they're trying to reset the base. Score 1 apiece. Pyro have got 3 E100s on the cap circle. In fact, they've got more than 3, which all that would do, that would just cause to make confusion for the enemy side. The enemy side won't know who's got the most cap points. And as the mouse takes down that IS-7, who was on his way back to cap, back to reset the cap. 3-1 is the score. 10 seconds left on the cap timer. Can these guys, can they even see these E100s here? I'm not really sure. 3 seconds, 2, 1. He sets him on fire. Sets the object 430 on fire, but it doesn't matter. It's a very handy win. 3-2 against VAE on Ruinberg. And again, a very quick look at the post-game battle results. A good spread of damage, even though these E100s didn't really see much action. They did pick up a lot of cap points and win that game in under 3 minutes. Now, under 3 minutes, that's a pretty quick game, especially for a tier 10 match. But good couple of games on Ruinberg, featuring Skims, who top scored on that one. Just saying, he top scored on that replay in his big, heavy old mouse. And 2 great games on Ruinberg. Pyro versus Mates and VAE. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the replays. Take care and see you all next time.